Yo guys, what's going on? JC Trends here with a brand new video. We are going to be discussing the very controversial topic, racism in America. The media likes to think of America as white America. Majority cops are racist. It's just the way the media portrays crimes nowadays, you know, and the way social media shows crimes. Like for instance, I'll go on Twitter, I'll see a crime, you know, oh, racist cops, blah blah blah. And then it shows freaking no context whatsoever. For instance, like unarmed African American gets shot in own backyard. When if you look at the context, there's the reason all behind all this. Point of view is I can see how that kind of makes you think, wow, cops are racist. Wow, they're out to kill African Americans. No, false. According to the FBI, about 50% of murders in the United States are committed by African Americans. Now let that sink in, because African Americans only take up about 12 to 13% of the US population. Think about that. African Americans take up about less than a quarter of the US population, yet they commit 50% of murder in the United States. That is astonishing. The statistics astonish me. For instance, like it has to do a lot of things with culture. Like 69 to 79% of African Americans are born into one-parent families, and these statistics only show that things that go on within the black community, this is what make them do such bad crime. You know, all these cultural things. You know, you don't have someone to guide you there. You only have the one parent. Now, I'm not saying all of them are bad. No, of course not. Not all of them go straight to crime. There are a lot of them. A lot of African Americans who do very well. But it's just the hard truth, the hard facts. Now, I'm not saying there is no racism in America or there's no racist cops. There are racist cops and there is racism. But the way the Black Lives Movement claims there is like there's institutional racism, false. There's no evidence to support that. By saying there is racism in America is not solving anything too. Whenever I walk in the street, okay, but what, we're gonna base off the whole freaking definition of racism just because your personal experience? No, false. Look at the stone cold hard facts and then base your decision. Don't base it off one person's experience because they went through a bad, you know, experience with a cop. Now, like I said, there are racist cops out there, but not like the way the media and Black Lives Matter movement claims there are. I don't believe the vast majority of cops are racist, and I do not believe in institutional racism. Like they're claiming like a whole freaking like a station of police officers are racist rather than saying individuals are racist. And that's the problem with the media nowadays and liberals and Democrats. And, you know, sometimes like even when a crime is not justified, it doesn't always have to do with racial things. I feel like racism now is now used as an excuse when there's no evidence for anything else. And that's really sad. Really sad. Because now people are using racism as an excuse. Okay, just because a white man kills a black man doesn't mean he's racist. Possibly, but there could be a whole lot of factors. Maybe that black man stole from him, or maybe that white man just didn't like that guy because he just looked funny. Doesn't mean he's racist. There are a lot of other factors that come into play rather than racism, and that's the problem nowadays, and people don't see that. Now, like for instance, there was a shooting in Boston, New York, back in like April, and basically what happened is a man, an African American man, had a pipe in his hand, and police were called to the scene. Someone called the police, say, hey, saying there's a guy waving a gun around. So the police already think that this guy is armed. Okay, he is armed, he has a weapon. So they go to the scene, and the man starts pointing the pipe at the officers, taking a shooter stance. And when that happens, they have to make the final decision right there whether it's their life or theirs. Okay, and if you let that 1 second split, that could be life deafening right there. And when a cop shoots, he shoots to kill. I hate when liberals and Democrats say, oh, why don't you just shoot him in the leg? Why don't you just shoot him out? Okay, well, no. They're shooting to kill. Not shoot to wound, it's shoot to kill, to eliminate the threat. Now, obviously, this man, he was not a big threat. He had a pipe. But when he took a shooter stance, life or death right there. And, you know, it's just crazy how people take things out of context. I remember when I first saw this, and this is what the media put on Twitter. I was scrolling through my timeline. I see this on Twitter saying, unarmed, mentally disabled African American shot by police officers. Boom. And I'm like, wow, of course, typical media. I go in, I look at the context, I look it up, and before I even say anything, I always look at the facts. Always. So I go in, I look at it, and I'm like, wow, right here. Police were called to the scene, the man took a shooter stance, and police thought he had a gun because there was reports that people made to the police saying that he had a gun and he was waving it around. Show me one law that is against the African Americans. Show me. Okay, because I want to see that law. So when people think, oh, they're out to get us, no, they're not. The stone cold hard truth is that African Americans just don't get along. And there's another truth is that there's statistics shown out by the FBI also saying how African Americans are more likely to be shot by the police. And that's true. You know why? Because they are more involved with crime. And that makes sense. Obviously, if they're more involved with crime, there are going to be more shootings of them. It just makes sense. Anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to smack the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Click the bell, and you'll be notified each and every time I make a brand new video, guys. Please click the bell because YouTube has this weird algorithm where they're not going to show you my videos in your subscription box. So make sure you click the bell so you're notified when I make a video, guys. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys share it with all your friends and family. Share it with guys. And I love talking about these topics. Please leave a comment in the comment section below, leaving what else you guys want me to talk about. I could talk about feminism, transgenders, anything really. I'm open to it. If you guys ever see it, something in the news that you guys want me to talk about, like it's controversial, just came out in the news, I'm so down to talk about it. I give my opinion. Guys, I'm JC Trans, where facts are the truth. And I will see you guys in the next video.